Okay.
We're ready.
Northern City of Laredo, Advisory Airport Board Meeting, Laredo National Airport, 220 Bob Bullock Loop. I call the meeting to order and I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Roberto Santos,
Present.
Mr. Hector Cortez,
Present.
Mr. Carlos Gordillo,
Present.
Ms. Melissa Peña is not present and she won't be attending. Mr. Johnson Galo is not present. Mr. Joel Benavides,
Present.
Mr. Beto Trevino is also not present. Chairman Jose D. Gonzalez, he's running late,
Yes,
but
yes.
he'll be here, but I'm gonna mark him as absent for now, and then Ms. Elia Guevara.
Present.
Perfect. We have a quorum.
Awesome. Okay, we have anyone for citizens' comments? No?
No, right now, no.
Okay, excellent. Staff?
At the approvals of the minutes first,
Oh, I'm sorry.
motion.
The motion for the minutes.
The motion that we approve.
Motion and then second. All in favor?
Who is the second?
Sin.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Staff reports.
Staff reports. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We go to our passenger report. First page, you see after the sign page with the graph. We have the final number for the year for 2023 on the employment, 121,529. It was our best year so far of the airport. We have the plane at 113, so there's a revenue around 8,000. I was checking with the migrants number with the TSA that shows 14,000 on the migrants for the year. So trying to understand where those other 7,000 went, because on you see the difference from the plane and in plane, but it's still overall a good number for Laredo so far. So it was a 9.22 increase compared to last year, which at that time it was the best year so far. So hopefully we kept saying it's the best year every year from now on.
All right.
All right, moving on to cargo report. On the cargo report, we see a slight decrease of -6%. Our best year so far in the history of the airport is 2022 with 741 million landed. Last year was 695, which is not bad. Still second strongest year for the airport so far. On the FIS, we do have the numbers. We saw the numbers last year for the completed year. For this year, we're starting the numbers not as strong as previous years, with 255 operations in cargo, and overall only 2 for the ANAM. We mentioned this ANAM project. We need to promote it more. We need to do a lot more to jumpstart it, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. On the next page, we go real quick on the air charter and private passengers. The numbers are looking good for the beginning of the year. You see at the bottom 320 for the month of January, which is more or less the same numbers that we've been having for the past 2 years, 288 and 311. So it's looking good on the passenger side of the private charter operations. For the total FIS operations, we're starting the year also strong with 459, and then departure 116, for a total of 575. Slower than the prior 2 years, 23 and 22, but still, I mean, I believe it's a good start so far. On the fuel flow, as you seen, we had a slightly decrease of 6%, which is in line pretty much with the cargo numbers of a decrease of 6%, with 17 million gallons. But as the price has increased from prior years, the revenue did not decrease that much by only 61,000, which is pretty much not a significant difference on the revenue collected from fuel flow. So we had a good year last year overall. And on the delinquent report, we have nothing so far. So moving on.
That's awesome.
Moving on to the marketing report, I'll let Manuel de Luna take control of that.
Mr. Chair and Board, pretty quick snapshot of what we're doing right now. As you all know, we have our new route to LAX coming in June of this year. So currently, we're working with a marketing company that's been helping us, social media, doing videos and everything. So we're doing great. Now we're going to be focusing on that route and to get it everywhere, so we can sell those tickets. Now, tickets are already selling. So I did notice yesterday, I went out there and there was already like 5 tickets left only on June, and it was like, people are buying those tickets. So our marketing efforts will be to get that route out there and to make sure they sell it. And that's a report.
Just a question, is it
Yes.
just for a period of time, or is it gonna be all year?
Well, we have, we've been working with Allegiant for the past 2 years, several meetings after, and we were proposing, we were requesting Orlando and Los Angeles. Those are one of the top 5 underserved markets for Laredo. And actually the number 1 was Florida, but in good old fashioned Allegiant way, they decided to go with LAX, which I'm not complaining. I'll take it any day of the week. And basically what they have right now is June till November, twice a week. But obviously we're refocusing all of our efforts there and try to make it as successful as possible, and hopefully we can keep it for forever, well, at least for a year or so. At the end of the day, it's a financial decision for them, so it has to make sense, right? So that's why we're focusing our marketing efforts to make sure that the people understand that every time they fly from San Antonio or from Austin, it's affecting us. But I mean, we need to make all the airlines that are not here bleed a little bit so they can come to Laredo. And this is one way to make it happen, right? I mean, going from LAX from Laredo and make the Allegiant flight financial viable for them, and hopefully we can keep it.
Okay.
All right, moving on, Mr. Sherman, to the fuel safety report. I'll hand it over to Mr. Knapp.
This was a request that came last time from Mr. Trevino, where he wanted to see that there was some type of analysis going on to make sure that the fuel that is going into aircraft is being tested and is safe. So I did reach out to our 2 FBOs, which is Barker and Signature Aviation. So with those 2, the first report that's in here comes from Signature. So he also gives like a step-by-step process of how they go about when they receive the truck to like how it goes into like the tank and then where they test it from there. And then also the other additional form that you have in the back also goes through and shows that the actual analysis that they did, that they are doing the testing and that it is meeting the standards for the airlines or for all the aircrafts and the cargo, that it is safe fuel that is going into the aircraft.
Excellent. Thank you.
I would also like to make a comment that on our last board meeting, it was mentioned that we have 1 FBO only, but that was a wrong statement, and I should have picked it up. So I apologize for that. We have 2 FBOs. We have Signature and we have Barker, and we have reached out to both of them to address this fuel report situation, and they both they both put on their comments, and it's here. Also, I would like to say that, I mean, I believe Signature is the one selling fuel to American Airlines, Allegiant, United, Military, UPS, and FedEx. So those get their fuel audits constantly. So it's not only us checking, it's they have a lot of eyes on them. So the fuel has to be on
Do
top.
they have an exclusive on fuel, or is that just who takes over the majority of the fuel sales?
They do have a contract with, but it's with Signature. We just collect our fuel.
It's
flow.
not exclusive.
But it,
But
yeah.
it sounds
they-
like they're the only ones that sell it. I mean,
No, Barker also sells fuel.
Yeah.
Both of them sell, but I mean, you as an aircraft owner, you can fill your tank with whoever you want. But they do have some agreements on that side. But I mean, if you have an aircraft and one day you wanna fill it up with Barker, or the following way you wanna fill it up with Signature, it's your right to do that.
But Barker is more of it's a local operation, where the Signature is like more, like, it's like worldwide, so more people are familiar with Signature, so that's why they do tend to go to Signature. And then, both Barker and Signature are both fueling agents, they both do sell fuel, so they are still held to the same like FAA standards. When they come to inspect annually, that's part of it too, that they're making sure that they're getting their quarterly, inspection reports for like, to make sure like the fuel trucks and the fuel farm is safe, for the airport, and then also for the aircraft as well.
The military puts it out for bid every so often for contract. And I know American does also, and I would assume the other airlines do.
And for the military, to her point as well, so they always go with the lowest bidder, or lowest responsible bidder. So previously, it used to be that Barker was the one fielding the planes, but then it went back out for bids again, and I guess Signature ended up winning that contract. So now Signature is the one fielding military aircraft that stopped through here.
So there's a lot of filters out there.
Supply and
So
demand.
that the fuel it's in top shape here in Laredo.
Does the military have a contract with,
They should have a contract with Signature right now. They used to have it with Barker, so, and like Andrew said, they're held to high standards by FAA, so, I mean, it's both FBOs.
And what FAA comes to inspect every year is the physical devices itself. They're not inspecting, like the FAA is not inspecting the fuel, because that's all within within FBO, the FBO and like the trucks that deliver it, but then like the FAA, when they come every year, they're inspecting like the reports that the ARF inspects for them when it comes to the fuel tanks and the fuel trucks and the hoses, to make sure the physical devices are safe for aircraft.
thank you.
Well, I'm moving on, Mr. Chairman, to the status of construction for taxiway J1 and J2. I'll hand it over to Mr. Labrada.
Mr. Chairman, the construction of the taxiways continue same pace. Nothing changes, so right now we're doing a construction on taxiways H1 and H2. That's about 84%, and we are going to start on the new taxiways J1 and J2, and everything continues to be status quo.
That is cool.
Thank you.
That's good. Thank you.
on time,
Yes, we have plenty of time. We give them plenty of time, and now we're good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As next, I would like to introduce Virginia Hunt, our new Assistant Airport Director, given that Mr. Labrada give us a warning that he was gonna
And I am
leave,
going to retire. Yes.
he was leaving in January. I mean, it's February and we're still having here. I mean, it's not a complaint. I'm just saying. I'm just stating. So we move forward with the hiring of Miss Virginia Hunt to slowly start taking over Mr. Labrada's duties, as he will retire in 2027. Or what was that?
28, 29,
29.
31.
So with that being said, Miss Hunt come from Tyler, Texas, but I let her tell a little bit more about her experience and everything she knows about airports as our new Assistant Airport Director.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez, Chairman and Board. I'm Virginia Hunt. I am I've had 8 years of experience in the airport world. I started with Longview Airport, East Texas Regional, and then my last airport was Tyler Pounds Regional Airport. I do have my certified member certification from AAAE, and I'm excited to be here.
Welcome to Laredo.
Welcome to Laredo.
Thank you.
Is this your first experience on the border?
No, sir. I've been to Laredo several times in the past.
You're gonna put up with the heat?
It's a different heat. Y'all don't have the humidity,
Yeah.
so it'll be better.
That's what gets everybody, I just wondered.
I mean, in East Texas, we still have 30 to 40 days of 100-plus degree weather. Not every year, but quite a bit. I won't miss the freezing temperature.
Yeah.
They promised me it will not snow here.
Not very often.
Once in a blue moon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Moving on to the noise compatibility program public meeting, it's gonna be held next month. So Ms. Dominguez can speak a little bit more about the noise.
Hi. We're having our noise compatibility program. It's a public meeting. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be like a public meeting the way we usually have them. It's where we invite people, they're gonna come and listen. This is the last part of our Part 150 update. Basically, we're gonna get opinions or advise the public of what we're proposing for our noise compatibility program. We're gonna change some of our measures. That policy or that program hasn't been updated, I think, since its inception. So we're just gonna advise them of the changes that are coming. It's gonna take place February 22nd at 5 p.m. Laredo Public Library. I can send you guys an invitation later. But everybody's more than welcome to come. This is where you have the opportunity to voice your concerns about noise. So if you or any of your neighbors are mad at us because of the noise, that's your time to give us your opinion. After that, you're able to submit public comments. I think it's a 30-day period. And then we'll submit to the FAA. Once that's approved, we'll be able to move forward with our new contour map. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now we move on to update on escalator and elevator malfunctions. Oh my God, where do I start?
Here we go.
Well, let me just start by saying that I inherit this
That's not an excuse, sir.
20
No throwing of the white flag too fast, come on. Híjole, hombre.
It is not an excuse. We bought escalators already since April last year. They're on order.
Yes.
They will arrive here, I believe, in July. But I mean, the installation, it's gonna create a lot of headaches for everyone.
Yes.
So, but I mean, the malfunction and everything to all the keyboard warriors out there. We've been working with TKE, but the company just is not reliable. It's a citywide contract that we cannot get away from. We just got the approval from purchasing to reach out to another company finally. That was back in December or so when we reached out. We reached out to 4 different companies. We're still waiting on 3 companies to get us the quote to work here.
What happened to the escalator? Just wore out?
Wear and tear, basically, what is recommended from the escalators, you change the direction, you switch
Yeah.
the direction every so often.
Yep.
But these escalators, well, to begin with, they're working 24/7, 365 days
Yes.
a day, a year. So they don't stop and they never change the direction. So if I go right now and move the switch, God bless us all. We don't know what's
Well,
going to
and
happen.
that's what I'm getting at. I mean, they wore out. Well, first of all, we're not open 24/7.
Yes.
Exactly.
So why weren't they shut down? And 2, if we're gonna improve them or get new ones, do we have a maintenance plan for the future?
Yes.
Because if these lasted 10,
25.
because they didn't turn them off, if we don't have a plan, the next ones are gonna be the same.
Yeah, no, we're buying smart ones that if they don't sense there are any people there, they're not gonna be moving, they're gonna stop for a while. We asked for the latest and greatest. I mean, we got that's what we got for $1.4 million. I mean, and now we should be switching the direction every so often, and we do have we're going up for bids for a new maintenance contract right now. The company that we currently have, they put on notice to cure, it's called, by purchasing, basically saying that if you don't do your job in this so much time, you're out of the contract. But we got another company. We were allowed to do so, to get another company, thankfully, because this one is definitely not responding, and it's like you all said, it's not an excuse, but I mean, they're lacking service just about everywhere. You go to the bridge, El Pico water plant, the elevator in the libraries, the mall, the outlets, you name it.
No, that's the world we live in, but we have to do something about it.
Exactly, and I
If
agree
we
with
sit
that.
here and don't expect different results,
Yeah.
then we're at fault.
Yeah, and exactly,
And,
that's what we're doing, because I could, not easily, but I could say, hey, I already bought someone last year, so toughen it up for in the meantime, because this is not gonna be cheap to fix this, but.
Oh, no.
But still, we gotta make that expense, even though new ones are coming. So we're doing as much as we can with what we have, and we're trying every day. I mean, we have, we pull up the report, we had around 88 work orders in a lapse of 18 months with TKE. 88 times we tell them, we need help, we need you here.
But
to
who
fix this
picks
thing."
that up is, a lot of these things, and I'm not familiar with the airport, they may belong to the city, so somebody comes from outside, and there's nobody really looking at that, and saying, you know what, this is about to break down.
Yeah.
They just come and repair, and leave.
Yes.
But if it's somebody here keeping tabs on, say, you know what, man, we never had problems, now we've done 3 in 1 week.
And we had that issue where they will come and fix it, and that was one of the problems. I mean, like we said, we were not involved in awarding that contract or anything like that before. We were standalone, but we got pulled in with everyone, with the city, which for the airport didn't work out. But they were not here in town, so they will come from Corpus or wherever they find a technician available. They'll fix the escalator, he'll leave to Corpus, and next day it stopped. So we call, but he's in Corpus, so you need to reprogram it for the next day or so. So that was an
Next
issue that
day,
we were having.
next week, month,
Next month.
they're busy.
No, I hear you. I mean, I have not seen this company, TKE, work on this escalator for the past 2 weeks, I wanna say.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. Not a single hand they have put on this escalator.
Yep.
And I have sent not very nice emails recently to those guys, believe me.
And text messages.
And text messages. Still nothing. They're under contract, but they still get paid every month.
Well, and
already order stuff.
Is there city attorneys that can,
Yeah, well, I mean,
start- you know what I'm
they
saying?
They already sent the notice that they need to
Breach
get
of
the.
contract or?
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotta have a muscle, and there's gotta be a consequence for them not doing their job.
Yeah.
Because everybody's suffering. I mean, I just went up it once. There's people that gotta go up it up and down. And there's gonna be somebody that's gonna end up getting hurt, and we're gonna pay for it.
And let me just clarify on that particular day. I believe it was it was January 25th, or I don't recall the day. It was a particular day. Then we had the perfect storm, you know, name it, because we usually have a working elevator, but that day the elevator was not working.
And we couldn't reset it.
And we couldn't reset it, and we couldn't do anything to fix the elevator, so we didn't have an up escalator, and the elevator there was not working. But we were never not in compliance, because the person that complained or the person that needed help he or she probably didn't advise anyone on the airlines because we have 2 more elevators on the secure area. So if you are here and you need help and you tell the airlines, because you can see the wheelchairs right there for all the airlines, you tell them, hey, I need help to go up. The airline will pick up the phone and call us and call PD, and you will be escorted to the secure elevator, take you up, and then bring you back to TSA. It's not available for all the public because of that, because it's in the secure area. But if you were to tell us, somebody will be there to help you. So that was, like I said, the perfect storm. The elevator was not working that particular day. We got it up and running the following day, but it was the elevator was not working, escalator was not working, and that person didn't advise anyone that he or she needed help.
Yeah, but you wait till you get a complaint from somebody with a disability.
Yes.
It's gonna light a fire under everybody's butt,
Yeah.
and they're gonna say, were we in compliance or not? So, well, they didn't tell us. Well, they're gonna say, well, I didn't have to tell you. I should be allowed to be,
Yes.
to show up and
And
you know,
and that was
and they're gonna get us, so.
And it was great. I saw that post on Facebook, and they mentioned that there was Good Samaritans, and that was great because, believe me, we have seen not very good Samaritans lately. I personally have carried babies, strollers, luggage, and my police officers too, and everyone has chipped in to help on that situation because there's not always good Samaritans.
Oh, I know. No, what I'm saying is that we use those examples to tell that company, and if we have to go with the city attorneys to write them a letter saying, hey, this thing is unacceptable because,
And
God, 2 weeks, nobody's been here, come on.
Yeah.
yeah, no, and we did already. So we're currently working with another company that actually the only one that responded. Like I said, I mean they came, saw everything, and it's been a month, and we even haven't got a quote. And that's just to get into a contract. Imagine once you have the contract, well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were even worse then. But this company has been very responsive so far. They already came, they give a proposal on parts, so we're gonna order more parts, so they'll be able to fix it.
And they're supposed to start troubleshooting the escalator this afternoon.
So
They're supposed to fix it today?
They're supposed to start troubleshooting.
troubleshooting.
Fiction is,
In other words, they're just gonna show up to look at it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we can't, this is gonna bite someone in the butt, and it's
One
gonna
of-
say, well, who didn't do something about it? And they're gonna go downhill from there.
Mr. Chairman, one of the issues is the escalator's been here 25 years. Everything here in this building is 25 years old. One of the issues is they come and troubleshoot it, but then they need to get the parts. And the issue is getting the parts. Sometimes they're not readily available because the escalators are very old.
But when someone complains, they're gonna say, so who let it be 25 years old when we
Exactly.
can't get parts anymore?
Exactly.
And that's where it's gonna go. It's gonna go
And,
south on us.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true.
we gotta light a fire in their butts.
Yeah.
And, make them don't let them sleep. Don't let them sleep.
No, and we have, and like I said, we have this contract, so we on our end, we have a separate contract now with this other company. So I really, really hope that the city takes action on this company, because like I said, it's a citywide contract. I don't think they deserve any business here. But that's just me personally.
I hate to say this,
Speaking for
but
the airport.
if we have to call the Gordiloca to advertise, I didn't say that. No, I mean, it takes making some noise and getting some attention.
No, and we have, and this
we need to get
post
this
from
done.
Facebook, it helped, because we've been fighting with this company for while I'm being here for 2 years, going on 3. But for the past 2 years, all of us, been fighting with this company. And we have not gotten a response, so that, at least that post helped city managers say, hey, well, whatever you need, well, hell, thank you, man. I mean, I need another contract. They approved that to us.
Sometimes you go with the American with Disabilities people and they start, someone has got to understand that these people, they don't have to call you in advance. If they show up, they have the right to get into an aircraft.
Yes.
And they're gonna say, I didn't know I had to call in advance. Are we putting it out on social media that if you have a disability, you gotta call in advance? No, because they don't have to call in advance. We have to make things readily available for everyone.
Yes.
And that's why, I'm not blaming you, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no, I understand.
We have to, do what we can, because when something falls apart, they're gonna come and say, well, and we can, oh yeah, well, it's 25 years old. Who let it become 25 years old before we did something?
Yeah. No, I
You know,
agree.
we know that we
100%.
need the parts, but we need to get something going, and this is really unacceptable.
No, I
And
understand.
whatever we need to do, if you come up with some ideas, hell,
Yeah.
I'll go rattle some cages, I don't care.
What company is it?
I was gonna, same thing.
Right now is Noble.
Nuva.
Nuva.
I think
Where are
that's
they
what
based out of?
That's not the one we're fighting with.
No, I know. Where are they from?
They're local.
They're local.
Oh, local.
They
Well, like-
have a couple of technicians local, so that's a big plus
Where
for
are they
us.
based out of?
That I don't know.
But they're all over, Texas though. I mean, they're at least a Texas company, so, but they do have 2 local technicians. So that's why we call them, they're being very responsive right now to all of our requests. And
This is the new
the
company.
new one, yeah.
And the old one, what, nobody's sending them a letter?
Yeah,
The
we
legal
send
department,
letters,
somebody?
we have a chain of emails there, city council, I mean, you name it, it's been, they've been put on notice, but they, I don't wanna say they don't care, but it looks like they don't
So
care.
they're on contract, so they're still getting money from us?
They're still getting money, I already asked purchasing to stop, at least from
I
my,
was
from
gonna
my
say, stop-
end.
let's stop
Paying,
sending them
stop
money.
paying.
That usually gets people's
Simple.
attention.
That-
Whatever it
yeah.
takes.
That I already put it on, at least for the airport side, but, I mean, like I said, it's a citywide contract, you have parks, you have, bridge, water, utilities department, they're all in the same contract, but at least from the airport, I already said, I don't wanna pay these guys anymore, not a single penny. So, but,
If you need something from us, I mean,
Yeah.
let us know.
And what was their
This
response
is a
when you?
hot issue.
They haven't responded.
They haven't respond, when there was a council item put on the agenda for last meeting, I advised them to come to respond to that meeting. That meeting was on Monday, I advised them on a Wednesday. The guys in San Antonio, he said it was very short notice that he couldn't make it. So he said, he will be setting up a meeting to answer all of my concerns and everything that have been going on. That was last week. I sent another email on Friday telling no schedule, no meeting, no response, but you still got your check, right? What's going on? And no response. See, I mean, I sound even bad every time it goes with the emails, but I'm just so frustrated with that company.
Well, how about phone calls? I mean, you gotta keep following up, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew blast text with the guy in charge of maintenance or the technicians.
We have 2 years of email changes showing that they're just not like providing the service to get our stuff up and running.
And I mean, back in the day, we even told them, I say, well, guys, I mean, I know you have a contract, but if you cannot fix the problem, tell us. I mean, at that point, it's okay to tell me I cannot do the job, so I can find somebody that could do the job, but.
It's clear that they
Yeah,
cannot do
but
that. That's
not even.
Yeah, we need to forfeit the contract and us move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
We need to get out of this. We're in a circle and we can't wait for them to keep going. I
No.
mean,
No.
Yeah, at this point, like I said, I mean, we're moving forward with this new company that so far they have been very responsive. I mean, at this point, I only hope that the city does what is right and cut any ties with that company.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can only speak for the airport. I cannot speak for
Yeah.
the other departments.
And they're looking to hit the ground running, like they've been very proactive that they want to get in here and start fixing our stuff. So right now, I do have proposals and they're gonna start today to start fixing our current issues that we have with the elevator and escalators. And then we're just gonna take it from there, hopefully we get everything back up and running.
What issues is there with the elevator?
It's with another elevator that's on the
Oh,
north side,
okay.
but this one right now, this one's working fine, but then we have some issues with the other one that, just some parts that need to get put into it.
To let everybody know, the airport has been kind of stuck because it's a citywide contract. And we couldn't get a contract with this new company. All we can do is do it based off of a purchase order because of the citywide contract. So, but it's my understanding that the city has sent them, has sent TKE notice that they're not performing. And we're getting ready to put out another bid for service. But as long as we're under a contract, we can't, as the airport, get another contract for the same stuff.
Okay.
So,
Is there not a non-performance, you know?
yes, and I think that's what the city is taking care of now. Our hands are tied as far as that company goes. We can't
Yeah.
do anything other than say,
Right now, what we have with this company is a contract to fix our issues. What we would like to have is a maintenance contract, so they can be on a regular schedule, coming and making sure things are working and they're not gonna go broke on us, right? But we cannot have a maintenance contract because that maintenance contract belongs to TKE right now. But, like I said, maybe the city is doing what they're doing to cut TKE loose out of the contract.
Did we buy the new escalator from those guys?
No, it's Schindler's.
God forbid. Oh, no, I wouldn't doubt that either.
And I'm still concerned about the new vendor, in regards to the parts. And like Beto said, we need to make sure we do everything in our hands to, if these guys don't find the parts, we need to maybe find another one that could help them. Just not resting on this only company. I don't know, I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking about even internationally. I mean, Monterrey is so close from here. They have escalators all over. It's a big city.
Yeah.
Maybe we could find somebody that could team up with this local vendor and, at least for the parts, if they don't find the parts, let's try to find them from wherever, just trying to solve the situation as soon as possible. And let this other issue on the side and
Yeah.
go straight with this issue.
I agree. I mean, and we're doing everything we can, but I mean, there are some procurement laws that we have to follow because of the city, right? So that also ties our hands something. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say this, but pretty sure that we can find somebody in Nuevo Laredo that can come in
Well, in
and
regards
fix
to
it.
that, we need to have everything
I'd
in
put money
writing.
on it.
And we need to have everything in writing. Every request that we make to the city, if they don't respond, if the city doesn't respond, we need to have that support as well for
At
us.
some point, it's gonna get to an emergency situation when, I'm telling you, because you're talking about people with disabilities are not gonna be able to move.
No, and on that, like I said, we are in compliance, ADA compliance. We just need to do a better job communicating to the people that if you're here and you cannot walk the stairs and the elevator is for some reason not working, to call a number or to advise your customer service rep of the airline that's there. Like I said, probably that person didn't advise anyone. He or she just tried going up the stairs, and I mean, that's when she or he felt that like she needed help or she couldn't do it or he couldn't do it, because obviously there's somebody with a wheelchair, but the airlines know what they need to do, so they're not gonna try to carry the wheelchair all over. They know they have to go that way, and they have to call PD to get escorted out. The problem was probably this person didn't need a wheelchair or was not on a cane or something. He just couldn't go up the stairs and didn't advise anyone. That's what I'm not for sure that was the problem, but I'm guessing that was the problem. Because like I said, if you're in a wheelchair, and there's the guys know what to do. But this person probably didn't advise anyone, so nobody knew until it happened after the fact. Is it acceptable? No, it's not acceptable anyways, but
That's where we're at.
Yes,
And we can put it on the airlines, but this is the airport.
yes,
The airlines are visitors.
yes.
They come and they do business and they leave. This is still the airport.
Our building.
And it's our business, and that's why we're here. So we have to address it, and if we don't, then we fail.
Yeah,
We failed, not the airline. And we have to look at it that way.
yeah, and I understand. That's why I said we need to do a better job on communicating. So I think we already have signs there, tell to dial this number and do this, do that. but, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to have escalators and elevators working. I'm not trying to get away from that. I mean, there's no excuse for that, and we need to do better, and we're trying to do better, and we will do better next time.
Thank you.
I just want to add that during construction, we're going to have some hiccups, okay? Because it's going to be replacing the escalators, and we're trying to find out how we're going to move people from the first floor to the second floor. And during the construction, that always happens. There's going to be some hiccups. That's part of the construction.
But that's gonna be 6 months from now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something.
We have to
between
start
this year,
construction
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, well, construction is a little bit more understandable than just
Yep.
not working.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but in the meantime, we need
We need to fix the
that.
problem, yes.
Period.
Period,
We're aware of that, and we're working on that. Okay, so moving on to general staff comments. Well, I mean, in that, I will just reiterate the direct flight from LAX now, starting on June, all the way to November, twice a week. I'm very excited about that, and hopefully all the people from Laredo respond, and we have good load factors, and we can convince Allegiant that it's a good place to make business for Laredo. We're trying for the past 2 years, and now they throw us a bone, so we need to make sure that we stay with that bone there.
Have we seen anything about going to Cancun?
Cancun, no, we do have,
We had
we have
something in the
meetings
past, right?
with several airlines, but I mean, there's just nothing
Not
concrete.
interested.
We keep meeting with all the several airlines, but right now, I mean, there's nothing yet. And you'll see an item there on the bottom that will respectfully ask for your approval about SMS. That's some requirement for international travel, but we'll get to that item
Okay.
later on.
Yeah, we had it several years, I remember, I was still on the board, and it was extremely successful.
Yeah, I remember.
It was, I mean, it was full.
Yeah.
Every, and it was, obviously it was summertime only, but,
Yeah, yeah.
seasonal, but it was
Seasonal, yeah.
extremely successful. I took it myself twice in the summer.
Twice.
Yeah.
You know, so, this doesn't make sense, like you said, leave it to little Allegiant to.
Yeah.
Not do anything.
Moving on, I would like to move to action items, Mr. Sherman.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Victoria, please.
First item, discussion with possible action on nominating and electing an airport advisory board chairman. So we've had Mr. Gonzalez for a while. He asked me to add this item on the agenda.
So, if he's not here, and I mean, if you're
I
not
don't know if
complete,
you
you
wanna-
can
yeah.
table the item for now and put it on the next agenda if you all want that. We can do that for this one and the second item.
But I would need a
because
motion.
The vice
I'll need a
chairman.
motion.
Motion. Motion by Mr. Benavides.
Second,
Second.
And it's gonna be to
Mr.
table
Williams.
both, action items 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, consideration to recommend to the mayor and city council the dissolvement, it's dissolvement, but it should be dissolution of the master development agreement between the city of Laredo and 270 Development Group LLC for being a breach of contract and any other matters incident thereto.
Mr. Chairman, on this item, was brought up to our attention back when we were discussing the FBOs about Millionaire back in that day. This is a master development agreement that we have with this company. There were some concerns that they have not done anything, not performing well. So at this point, we did check with our legal department, and we are in agreement that yes, that we can send a letter to start breaking the contract with them. So at this point, if you would like me to proceed with that letter, I would just ask a motion in support of this item, so we can dissolve this this agreement and maybe start negotiation but on our own with another FBO. Basically, that's what it means.
Does everyone here, I don't know who was here the last time or not, I guess this company hasn't done much in the last year. They have not moved forward to do anything, but
No.
they have
Basically
an exclusive on that.
an exclusive agreement
So we need
right
to
now.
break that before we can move forward.
Yeah,
with,
we need to break that in order so we can negotiate with another FBO to bring here the Millionaire or any other FBO here to Laredo.
And that was part of the thing, I guess Millionaire had asked that they wanted to come, but they couldn't because,
Yeah, we need to go on RFPs.
Yes.
okay. So I guess that was the
Yeah,
issue.
that was the issue.
So,
So this is just to send a letter, the recommendation we will.
I make the
approve.
motion that we send the letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. Santos. and
To
second-
boy and deceased.
Second by Ms. Guevara. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, sir, will do.
Consideration to recommend to the mayor and the city council to authorize the city manager to approve a professional services contract between the city of Laredo and RSNH Inc., San Antonio, Texas, sorry, I forgot to put Texas, for an amount not to exceed $34,347.50. This contract is necessary for planning services to update the Laredo International Airport's Airport Certification Manual and Airport Emergency Plan as required by the Federal Aviation Administration Regulation Part 139 and any other matters incident thereto. Funding is available in the airport fund.
Again, Mr. Chairman, this is just to update our ACM and our emergency plan. Basically, this is a requirement by the FAA. We're not rediscovering the wheel or getting creative or anything like that. It's just something that we need to comply with. RSNH are all consultants, and we would just like for them to update our programs that we have to be in compliance with FAA and the certification manual that we have.
What are we getting for those $34,000?
We are getting, reformatting the ACM, the Airport Certification Program, and we updating names, addresses, telephone numbers, everything that hasn't been done in the past years. So it's just, it's a live document.
Yeah.
Every time we get a new council, every time we need somebody, we need to start changing and moving, all that.
And the
So-
problem right now is also if we make an addendum or we add something, it's so old, the document, that we cannot just add it and everything moves. We just need to insert pages and it creates a mess because then you have the table of contents and everything moves and it's just.
Every time we add a page, FAA has to stamp it, said approved. So every time we add something, we send a page, we send it to FAA, FAA needs to stamp it. So if we move a page and that creates 40 pages, he's not gonna do that. So we need to reformat it and also update all the information. For the airport emergency program, it's the same thing. Every time there's a new sheriff, every time there's a new councilman, every time there's a new police, we need to start changing that. And we send those pages, we need to send those pages in a PDF format to FAA. FAA will stamp it as an approved and then incorporate it into the manual. It's a live document, basically.
But does this sound reasonable, the price that they're charging for this?
Yes, it does.
Because
Well, in my case, I think it's just a suggestion or a comment. I would love to see what you guys have done in order to decide for this vendor in particular, because we don't know how much.
This vendor has been with us for 8 years.
But are there any other vendors? Did
No,
we check
this-
the
the way,
prices
the
on
way,
it?
no, the way it works is this. Every 5 years, FAA recommends to get a new consultant. So every 5 years, we go out on request for qualifications. For every 5 years, we get qualification from different companies. We do an evaluation of all the ones that submitted qualification, and we select one consultant. That consultant is going to be our consultant for the next 5 years. Then we just did it 2-3 years ago. We selected RSNH, so we still have 2 more years to do. The reason we do that is because the grants and the projects that we have with FAA, we don't have the time to go and out on bid and request for proposals or anything to go and get a different consultant. This is a very specialized engineering. Not here in Laredo, we have nobody who knows how to design airports. So that's we need to go with national companies.
Yeah.
But that's the way it works. So the contracts are for 5 years, and every 5 years we have to go out on request for
And
qualification.
this is on every single airport out there. Be it the smallest airport or the DFWs of the world, they do
5 years.
every 5 years. They go and select one consultant, and basically that
Right,
consultant
but
performs
do
all
we-
their work for 5 years.
Do we know ahead of time that this is gonna cost us like 4
No,
years
every
in
ti-
advance?
every time
I
we
mean, because
ask-
the next item, it's even scarier, I mean.
No, we ask for a scope of services. We say, okay, we need to do this. We need to do an update to the airport certification manual, and we need to update to the airport program. So we work with the consultant, we prepare scope of services. The consultant sends us a cost breakdown. By FAA, it requires to go a cost breakdown every single hour. It is there. We have a spreadsheet, and we have a scope of service. Actually, I think
Yeah, I
they
see
included-
the invoice, and it's
Yeah.
150,000 just for the manual
Or
development.
you're talking about the other?
You're talking
Yeah,
about
on the-
different
on the-
stuff.
That's a SMS program.
Yeah.
But basically, that's the way it is. They're supposed to prepare scope of service, what we're getting, and also they prepare a cost breakdown for every hour. Is the manager is gonna cost this, the engineer is this,
But-
and then we have to do that. So,
But let me just give you some background on this. This is not something that we all of a sudden decided to do. This is something that comes from FAA advisory circulars, which means this is the new law, this is the new thing you have to do, which is.
Well, we understand that,
on
but we're trying to see what kind of bang we're getting for our buck.
Yeah.
In other words, what are they gonna do for $34,347?
they're gonna reformat the whole airport certification manual. That is gonna make it easier for us to make changes and submit it to FAA one page and instead of a lot of pages. We are also going to update every single name, position, telephone number, and also we need to delete and add new things to that.
Like for instance, the air show that happens every year. Every year we have to submit a new plan here, and it goes to FAA different. I mean, even though it's the same thing, we have to submit it every year, and it goes in here too.
And when they come every year, they're inspecting that certification manual to make sure that it's accurate, like for our standards,
up to date.
that we're following it to a T.
It is a light document. If something changes, we need to modify that document and send it to FAA
I
for
think what
FAA
we're
to
getting
stamp it.
at is not, that it's gonna be correct and that it'll meet the standard. But if you give me this as your manual, and I've gotta fix 3 pages, I can do it in 3 hours.
No, it's
And I'm
not
gonna-
gonna-
and I'm gonna charge $34,000.
No.
That's what we're trying to get at. What what is it gonna, I know, that's what we're trying to get.
So you can see, you can understand what we're talking
Well,
about.
that's what we're trying to get at.
Um,
Are they gonna do $34,000 worth of work, or are they gonna do $3,000 worth of work for $34,000?
Well, it's not
No,
to exceed, but.
But at
I
the
mean, it
end,
could be
what
less.
can we do? It's already there, it's signed for 5 years. I mean,
That's what we have. That's the
Okay.
three reminder that we need to fix.
Yes, and this is in a electronic form.
yeah.
Yes, but we also have to have a copy, yes.
Yeah,
it's
I
a-
understand that, but they
We have a
get-
PDF file,
But
yes.
they get it in electronic form.
Yes.
And they
And also-
make some adjustments, right?
Yes,
They make some,
we have a Microsoft Word file and we'll make the changes.
I understand.
Updates and whatever.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to get at. Are they doing $34,000 worth of work?
Yes, they're doing that, yes.
That's what we're trying to get at. Because we don't know.
Exactly.
And the next one is $300,000 worth of work.
That's a bit little
That's a
more
big-
complicated.
that's a big-
That's
that's
a
a-
complicated.
So we're trying to figure out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do we need to spend that kind of money?
Yeah, I mean,
But
we
it's
want
not to exceed from
34,000,
34,000,
yes.
so it could be less.
Could be less.
What is what is this specific amount,
Because of the hour they think they're
based
gonna
on the
work.
other,
Yeah, based on the hour they think they're gonna put in.
So one of the things they have to do is they have to go to the advisory circular that the FAA says, and they have to make sure that our document follows that guidelines. To me, one of the biggest things in there is our emergency plan.
AAP.
In our emergency plan, we have to have all of the outside agencies, not just the city, fire, police, but every other agency. And those numbers and those contacts change every day. And so they're gonna have to do all this digging to figure out what contacts we need, that we're supposed to have in our books. And that's gonna take quite a bit of time there. It's just going through all of the different agencies that are out there, Red Cross, FBI.
DEA, yeah, we went to DEA.
No,
All of
I'm familiar with emergency plans. I failed to see the not to exceed part. I thought it was just gonna be a blanket.
Oh,
You give
yeah.
them the $34,000
It's not to
and they just fill in a few blanks.
No, it's not to exceed, and they will bill us, okay, the
Per hour.
project engineer worked 3 hours doing this, so $800 on these guys, so,
Okay.
and so on.
And the reason not to exceed, in case that we need more money, we need to amend the contract. So that's also amendments to the contract. For some reason, we require more information, whatever, we have to go back and amend the contract. So that's the reason of the not to exceed, because whatever it is, if it require more time or effort, whatever, it also, we get amendments.
I guess for us, it's hard to understand it because we don't have any comparison, right?
That's right.
Usually in our business, we have a couple of companies to compare with, services and time and all that stuff, and here's just one, and that's it, right?
Yeah,
We're like blind, you know, we never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
If we,
But we review this,
You're the guys
the
that know about it.
consultants, and we make sure that it's within
Yeah.
parameters.
we have to trust what you guys say.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Any motion?
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. Benavides, second by Mr. Gordillo, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Like, second one, Victoria, is a good one.
Oh, my
Lunch,
God.
please.
Consider motion to recommend to the mayor and the city council to authorize the city manager to approve a professional services contract between the city of Laredo and RSNH Inc. San Antonio, Texas for an amount not to exceed $365,262. This service is needed by the airport for the development of a safety management system program that is compatible with the Federal Aviation Administration Regulation 14 CFR Part 139 and any other matters incident thereto. Funding is available in the airport fund.
Okay, Mr. Sherman, this one, we currently, as we stand right now, this is part of one of the requirements from FAA to have international flights. So as we currently stand right now, well, we all know we don't have international flight, we're talking about passengers. So this was something that we could put aside, but it's not on the best recommendation that I will make for this board, because obviously we do want to get back for international flights. So if you want international flights, you need to have this. So, I mean, among some other stuff, I don't know if you want to go more into detail, what does this SMS program does for an airport, so they can understand a little bit more.
She just got here.
She was doing that. That's why she got
That's being
hired.
unfair. Here we go, passing the buck.
So really, in a nutshell, what it is just a safety program. And like he said, it's mainly for the bigger airports. Because like I said, we don't have international service, so we are one of the smaller, a non-hub primary airport that the FAA is not requiring at this time
At this time,
to
that's
have
right.
one. But because we want international service, we have to go ahead and to develop this plan. It's a very detailed safety plan.
And this is where we're starting it from scratch. We
And
currently
this
don't
is-
have it, that's why.
This is being proactive, not
Exactly.
reactive, so
Very
we're
And
being
that's-
very proactive on this.
That's one keyword that she said, the FAA does not require right now for small non-hub airports. That doesn't mean that next month they won't shoot out an advisory circular and said all the airports need this. So like I said, we're being proactive since might become a requirement after all, and we do want international flights.
And without this program in place, we can't get and have an international flight. And so
If the FAA changes that, right?
that's,
At this
Well,
moment, we
it-
can't have a flight.
No, we
international.
cannot,
Then how
We
do we
used to have
yeah.
one
Well,
a
no,
couple of months before.
but it was
We
not
didn't have those.
required.
Huh?
It was not
It
required.
started-
And it's still not required today.
No, it is required right now. It
For-
was not required back in the day when we had the international flight, but it's now required for every
Right,
single.
right now, we don't have international flights, so
So
we
we-
can ask for a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment we have an international flight, then
gonna be a
it's in,
requirement.
it is a requirement. So
It's
we
a
are
new
being
requirement.
proactive, we're being proactive to create the safety management plan to have it ready when, if we have another international flight, we don't have any problem.
If I'm
So this
not-
time, we're being proactive.
if I'm not mistaken, it's February of 2024, this year,
It becomes-
that if you have a international flight, you have to be, you have to have an SMS
SMS.
program. And it's not just a small safety program, it's a big, huge document that, very detailed. I can't even tell you all of the different little steps that goes into it, but it's a very detailed program that the FAA has really kind of thrown onto airports in the last year that they're having to have. And
How long does it last?
the program.
The SMS?
The SMS, it's gonna be a forever requirement.
But another
No, no, no,
live
no.
document?
No, let's say we do get the certification right now, and we don't get a flight, an international flight until, let's say, 5 years from
As
now.
long as we keep it up.
Yeah.
And keep
As
it
long as we
updated. and
keep
keep
it
it-
updated.
This
we'll have-
Pay
document,
for the updates.
Yeah,
I
it's-
guess, right?
it's
no,
just-
we can make the update. The first, this is a brand-new program, we don't have,
Never have.
we're starting from scratch, basically. There's a lot of meetings, a
And
lot of
it's
things that
also
we.
not to exceed, that doesn't mean they're getting a 365,000 blank check for
Yeah.
or
it's-
maybe 100,000 work. I mean, hopefully it's 100,000 work, right? We don't know, but
But this is something that, for instance, Denver Airport, they're a huge airport. This is something that they practice, but not all airports that are the size of Denver has had a detailed SMS program. They are now having to have it. The FAA phased it into different airports, different size airports. And February of 2024, if I'm not mistaken, was the last airports that were small hub airports. The reason why Laredo was told they had to have it is because we had international flights. We have a waiver, we can get a waiver to where we don't have to have it implemented, but because we're working to get international flights, we're gonna have to have it before that international flight can happen. So that's why we're asking to go ahead and get it started. Because as long as we say, we have this program, then we can go ahead and the FAA is gonna bless our international flight. But if we don't have it, then we're not gonna be able to have the international flight until we can show we're getting it.
How long will it take it for us to be how long will it take them for us to get FAA's blessing from start to when FAA will say, okay?
I'm not for sure exact.
It depends on the meetings because they have to prepare the documents and we have to have meetings. We need to review it, so it's a long process.
So-
And then also need to send it to FAA for FAA to look at it and approve it. It will be
In
a
their
year.
proposal, it'll say, I'm sorry, I don't know how
the-
long.
The very last page.
There's a deadline, I mean, they give us a date on how many, how long that it'll take.
It's a year.
A year?
It's a year
They did a year?
complete.
Okay.
I would like to clarify something. You see this is a lump sum contract. And then there's a section of the labor and professional services for $344,000, and that is on reimbursable expenses for $20,000. The $344,000, that's a lump sum contract. They're gonna get that money. What is not to exceed is the reimbursable expenses. Those are,
The 20,000.
the 20,000 is because of the travel or that, we pay on an as-needed basis. So at the end of the day, this contract could be 350,000 or something, but RSNH is a lump sum contract for $344,000. They're gonna get that money, okay? But the 20,000 is just a reimbursable expense. Please not to exceed. Again, that's when if they exceed it, we need to amend the contract. We need to go back and amend the contract, like any contract. But it's a combination of a lump sum and not to exceed. Just wanna clarify that,
Okay.
okay?
Do we foresee any international flights here in the near future?
Hopefully, we've been in talks with a small airline called Aerus. It's a new one, that has 9-seaters. And, on their plan is to expand to Laredo, Monterrey. It's on their plan, but they're also working on getting approvals here in the United States. They currently fly only regional there in Mexico, in Monterrey, Piedra Negra, Monterrey, Tampico, Monterrey. But they do want to expand here the service and offer Monterrey, Laredo.
And also I would like to clarify that the previous contract is also a lump sum with that reimbursable expenses. Okay, so RSNH is gonna get $32,000 and the reimbursable expenses are $2,200 for a total of $34,000. But it's a lump sum contract with reimbursable expenses.
We can't make a motion.
I was just gonna say,
Because we do
don't
not have a quorum at the moment.
Yeah, I
so-
was just gonna say, we can't.
But yeah, if you want to go to Cancun again,
Yes.
you need to pass this one. It comes down to that.
I wanna go for, it was like 8 years ago that we had it, I think. And back then, if you remember, the list of people that owed us money was literally the whole page.
Oh, yes, it was
full,
like that. It was
literally
yeah.
full. And when I see this, I was like, wow.
We're
this is-
improving.
this-
We're getting better.
To say the least,
Yeah.
it's zero.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
If you guys don't agree, it's okay, you can make a motion to not recommend, but we're still gonna take it to city council. We'll just note there on the item that you guys do not recommend.
Yes.
Okay, a motion?
No motion?
No motion. Motion by
Motion to approve.
Mr. Benavides,
Motion to approve?
a second.
It's only for passenger flights, or like cargo, private airplanes?
It's for the whole airport.
Commercial.
It's a whole system for the whole airport that,
Is this not gonna affect also the private flying?
No,
Nah, those are
nothing,
coming,
nothing to do with private, nothing to do with GA,
no,
with
but
general
it's
aviation.
a plan that involves all the airport though.
Yeah.
But for flights, it's Part 139, which is passengers.
Does it give, apart from all the FAA, does it give an advantage telling other airlines, you know what, we already have this certificate to
Well,
kind of,
like Ms. Hunt mentioned, it's like right now it's not a requirement, but that doesn't mean it's not to become a requirement in the next year or so.
no,
in
what I
FAA.
mean, it's like for a sales pitch.
Well, yeah.
It is something that is going to be required in the future, and like we said, we're being proactive, so it's better to do it now than later and being reactive.
Like
So
if
we need to
for
do this.
instance, if I were to go and meet with some country that they fly to Cancun, and they tell me, okay, well, we're ready to go in the summer with you to fly to Cancun, well, I can't right now because I don't have this.
Does
But it-
McAllen have this already or not?
They're
I'm
working
not
on it.
sure,
Everybody's working on this.
Because that was implemented to airports outside this February.
But there is a waiver if we didn't have it.
If
correct?
you don't have international flights, there's a waiver
We need to apply for a waiver every 2 years.
every 2 years.
Okay, I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Gordillo. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
Motion fails? Okay.
Simple.
But it's going to city council, yeah.
So what do I,
Wait,
how do I even recommend?
I don't,
I
Wait.
think I would need a motion to.
I didn't.
Yeah, if it didn't pass,
Okay,
it doesn't
let
go.
me do a hand
No,
vote.
it
That's
doesn't.
simple.
Yes.
Just go to city council.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yes or
Why
no?
is that?
Why is that?
Yes.
Three, you vote, you need your vote.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Well, hold on. If the motion didn't pass, why is it going?
No, Mr. Rivera.
Okay, let me explain one thing. First, we need to see how many votes we have.
That's
Oh,
right.
no, but I'm asking a question.
You are an advisory board, and
Yes.
you're just advice, and we go to city council and say the airport advisory board does not recommend this item. City council is the one who has the authority to approve or disapprove contract with the city of Laredo.
I know, but
If you
we
go
were
to the-
supposedly voting on this.
Yeah, but let me show you just, for example, what goes to council. If you go to, after this page right here, you will see everything, all the background and everything. So there's a section here that says committee recommendations. So here we will put, okay, the
You know that-
airport advisory board did not recommend this motion. Y luego abajo, staff recommendations, staff recommends approval of this motion.
So what I'm getting at is, and then why even vote on it?
Because we need your recommendation.
We would like your blessing,
It's
pretty
just a
much.
That's why we're only
recommendation.
in
Well,
advice.
and that's why I'm asking, so what? You know, if we went through all this but really don't need it, I mean,
Well, we need it because you're an advisory
Your
board, and we want
advisory
to.
board, we would like to have your
blessing.
blessing on this. I mean, basically, if you don't agree with an item or so, that's why you're appointed by a council member or a mayor, and you can always call him and voice your
Exactly.
concern and say.
So we
that
don't
way
recommend, we
council
don't
is-
recommend it, yeah.
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, so let's get the vote. Ms. Benavides, Mr. Gordillo?
Yes.
Three yeses?
3 yes.
Oh, we have to.
No.
No, okay. Motion passes.
And you, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion passes 4-1.
Say so, there's only one.
1 aye.
One nay.
Nay. Nay.
All right. Any particular requests from board members for our next meeting?
No items that you would like for us to bring. I'll bring back the ones that were tabled.
Yes.
Well, my recommendation is everything that we have discussed on the escalator, just try to have everything in writing, especially everything that you're dealing with the city.
I can send
Council.
you,
Yeah.
if you want, we can send the.
I mean, just making sure that
We
you
can
guys
say
have been
we-
not only pushing the vendor, but the city government as well.
We have a timeline that we sent council for our last meeting. We can send it to all of you, so you can have it there. There's a timeline from when we started, basically, with all the emails that were sent and responses, emails back and forth, work order, worksheet for the last 2 years. We have all that available. So we'll have it on an email already. We'll just forward it to you. It was sent to council members back in that
Just to
meeting.
make sure that the city is very, very aware of it. And
Yes, they are.
¿Qué fue lo que no le gustó? Ahorita platicamos.
Okay, there's
Okay.
no request.
Just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Santos. I need a second. Mr. Benavides?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.